Okay, so I'm back, and um, it's been almost 2 weeks since the first Illuminate Beloved, and um, I have been just, I guess, being silent and listening for the sake of receiving information. Lots of download again. And then just trying to organize it all and live a normal life, an everyday life, energetic life with all the interactions and mixing and blending with people. So um, I want to say blessings and namaste. I hope everyone is doing well. I am. And let's just get it going. So when we finished last video or session. So I'm a corporate trainer for professions. So at the executive level, I do training and development, usually in an HR setting. Could be management, whatever applies for that time in my life. So I do things in steps, and then I like feedback, and I like to know how everyone's doing. So I'm sharing this information, and I hope you're sharing it as well. But blessings to everyone. So let's get started. So last time we left off, I guess I was picking. I said abstain for a day, 2 days, however long you chose, to do kind of a detox, an energy detox. So blending and meshing and being intimate and sharing that with someone is very powerful. So when you hear me say that I am waiting for my vibrational match, it means that this stuff here, I would rather combine it with someone at that level of awareness and the experience in order to amplify the superconscious power or energy that we all have access to. I hope that makes sense. There was also a fast involved. I'm not sure if anyone entertained it, but fasting is very powerful. And when a fast is over and you break fast, which is break fast, that first meal is so very important. That first meal is going to rejuvenate and send information to every cell in your body. I like to break fast with watermelon. It is hydrating. It's delicious. It has sweetness to it. It's a very, it reminds me of the womb being full. You know, everything I need is contained in that melon for that moment, to help rejuvenate me. But whatever you chose, if you chose, that's great. So that is something that you can incorporate in your life when you feel yourself getting out of whack. So the purpose of that was to feel it. And if you ever feel unbalanced or like you're losing grip, there's always a process of analyzing that needs to happen, but I'll talk about that in just a minute. But definitely dig in by fasting. And when you feel like you've had enough, then you break it. I usually set, for me, everyone's different. For me, I set my goal in order to remain focused, because if I just freestyle it, there's no telling, 2 hours later, oh, I'm hungry. So I set my intention by setting a time frame, and then I go for it. All right, so let's get to some more good stuff. There's some vocabulary that I would really like to incorporate into this, and I took notes, so you're going to see me look over there. I don't want to miss one word because they're very paramount to understanding third, fourth, fifth dimension. There's more dimensions, but this plane that we're reaching for at this moment. And in order to reach illuminate light energy and commune with it and be the beings that we really could be on this third dimensional plane. So I'm going to give you some words. So you might want to grab a pen and paper or rewind this video and watch it again so you can get these words. We are in at 5:48 if you needed that timestamp for vocabulary for this. So we are looking at vortices, vortexes, and vortices. Your DNA helix, Fibonacci. Ooh, I'm a Fibonacci fan. When I was in my early 30s and I learned about Fibonacci, and then I learned about the golden ratio. Golden ratio is another word. This is so slow and corny, but I used to like sing this song about Fibonacci, Fibonacci. I loved Fibonacci. Fibonacci is in everything, and it is a spiral. Remember we talked about energy and the spiral. It is a spiral. The Schumann resonance, electromagnetic and coupling effect, geodynamic torque. It's all energy. Those are all related. Oh, electromagnetic. I also want you to look up melanin and neuromelanin and eumelanin, eumelanin, allomelanin, pheomelanin, which is PHAEO melanin, and that's about it for the melanins, but those can all be found in the brainstem, and the brainstem goes down and reaches into all of your organs, and that is the melanin. So people refer to melanin, which is the pigment melanin, which determines my skin tone. A lot of people speak on that, and they discuss it as if some are limited or some aren't. Melanin does determine our skin tone. That is a fact. It could be higher or lower levels. The melanin that is related to third eye, that is related to energy, that is related to kundalini and chi and flow and reaching and having access. Dark matter. This is found in matter. It's found in the ethers. Is what connects us to the stars, I guess, so to speak. So check out those terms. Enjoy. Very delicious content. And let's get back to it. So in taking time to fast and to rebalance, if you've ever meditated and if you've ever listened to thoughts, once you begin to just exist, some majority notice hearing you. So you will hear a statement, and the statement will be, how long are you going to do this? You've done this long enough. You know you can't do this. So you will hear mind say these things, right? And a day came in practice that I realized that they should be I statements. And then I asked, who's saying that? So if I am making the statement will be, how long am I going to do this? I can do this. There is such a disconnect from this body and being in this energy level of third dimension, until realization. There is such a disconnect to the fifth and sixth on up. And that disassociation is the you statement. With that statement, I challenge you to ask that question and to figure it out. It's not something that takes a lot of depth, but it is a reality, until you address it and create the I. Once you have created the I in your life, a shift happens. There are many shifts, and that is a shift of perception. So if we look at the I versus you, and you ask, it should be I if I'm having this thought, you begin to understand higher self, and you begin to understand that connection of time and space that we talked about in the first video. So that is first. Know who you are. Connect with I, and it's all related. I hope one of the words that I mentioned was pineal and third eye activation. Look those up as well. So now let's get to some content of what the eye can do. Just a little bit of what the eye, how the eye connects to the earth, how the eye connects to everything. So let's get it. So if you think of Fibonacci, it is a sequence, Schumann, resonance, all of these are code. And in everything, Fibonacci is encoded in plant. It is encoded in you. It is encoded in our DNA. It is encoded in galaxies have the rotation of a Fibonacci spiral. So spiral is key to life, okay? Which is force in motion. Picture, so energy can conduct in different ways, but this energy that is our source, what we're tapping into, is picture the spiral. We are beings, we are organic, we're here on earth, we're following earth rules. So the spiral is very important for us, okay? Focusing on that and knowing how the earth rotates, how the inner core, and this is speculation. Some things you have to go by faith. Some things you have to wait for the revelation, scientific revelation. But if you picture the core of Earth moving as well, and you picture Earth moving, and you picture the Milky Way moving, and you picture the other galaxies out there moving, and there's always this rotation, there's this spiral, there's this force, it's going. This creates a vibration, which creates a frequency. And the whole time, all of this amazing, amazing energy is happening. Where are we? We're attached to this force, right? The earth is rich in iron. We are rich in iron. We are very earth connected. So once you understand that, like in the other video, the first video, when I said that we may be on a third dimensional level physically in these bodies, the body is very, very much earth energy, but it is so magical that this earth energy, this force, combined with elements, creates a complete communication with third to fourth to fifth to sixth existence. Um, there are a lot of prophets, Gurujis, humanitarians that reached this elemental, powerful state of being, connecting from third to sixth. And that is our goal, is to exist, but to see. So once you've released ego and concepts and you begin to understand what your potential is, I have a very generic example of existence in this plane. So forgive me if it's juvenile, but this may be the trainer in me relaying this in this format. But imagine playing a video game. And in playing this game, you want to reach different levels. Like the goal is to get to the boss and win, right? It's to beat the game. It's to win the game. Imagine Earth being this complex situation, okay? This complex game. Imagine being the architect and being the superior connection and energy and oneness and knowing. Imagine this. And then you come and you're like, they say that, this earth thing is hard to navigate, and this is soul self, this is higher self. Entertain me, please. They say this earth place is hard, we can't do it, we can't make it. I'll send me down, I'll get it, And so soul decides to incarnate, knowing full well you will forget. And you have to work to know, you have to have experiences, you have to reach levels to come into understanding of what life is. So imagine that. And imagine someone staying in low vibe and never excelling and understanding, and then leaving this plane and coming to realization that, sheesh, that kicked my ass. I didn't do so well, and then you decide, I love all that is. I am very, in true form and true self and light, illuminate light, and energy. You are fully aware of your power and being, and you just need to do it again, and then say, after some rotations, you have imprints that stick, so that when you come, you can try to achieve the goals that you set while here. I also like to look at it sometimes hypothetically as a cleansing ground as well. So in agreeing to bring yourself here, maybe you have some karmic cycles to complete. And the only way to achieve that is through struggle growth. So you have to struggle to grow. These are all just suggestions, but tickle your brain, if you will, with theories, and sit in silence and try to create and come to knowing that although you're in this body, in this place, you are still very powerful. We cannot be energetic beings after this life and not have energy in this life, in this body, when everything is energetic. The soul is kind of having a dense episode of being solid. That's what we are. Um, it is said that in ancient times, we were so connected to the stars that this conversation was not a question. It was a knowing. And you had gifts and talents that you didn't have to question if you had. It was a knowing. It was a very positive experience, having access to fourth and fifth. I'm checking my notes because I don't want to miss anything. If you think of Earth as being a gigantic magnet as well, when you take a magnet and you use rotational force, you can imagine some gravity. You can imagine this is one of the reasons why meteors don't smash into us like they could, because there is a vibration out from all of this rotation. So your feet, I tell people, and sometimes when I do tarot readings, I'm like, a card will come out and it'll say to tell them, when we get to instruction, to ground themselves more. And grounding is when you walk barefoot in the earth and you get yourself re-energized. You want to spend about 15 minutes minimum, maximum, as long as you can, grounding, doing some grounding work. So imagine the energy flowing up to you that is meant for you to use to reach higher levels of consciousness. Some of the trivial things that are being discussed and focused on are distractions. One thing that I will quote is Buddha. Buddha, to his suffering, ate the food at the end of the day when the woman gave it to him, because he never turned down anything someone blessed him with. And the food was old and spoiled, and that's what made Buddha sick. And, that was the end of Buddha's story, but for that life. But Buddha makes a statement. There's a statement that is, if someone offers you food, I believe other religions use this as well, but if someone offers you food, say you don't eat meat and the only thing at the table is meat, you don't turn it away. He wouldn't turn it away because it is the intent of that person to bless you. So sometimes we focus on color and we focus on social status, and we focus on things that deflect from who we truly are. So in being in reality, we want certain things. We want to live comfortably. Some of us want to be famous. Some of us want to own a business. Some of us want to, what are some dreams? Be a best pro player. Whatever your aspirations are, in order to enter into super self and super consciousness, you have to know what you are attached to, what your plug-in, your energy source is, and you need to apply yourself to using that source. So with that being said, what if I told you there was a way to have and be all of those things? Again, they may not come to you in the package you specified exactly, and you may not know the timing of it, but just know that as long as you're living life and moving forward and moving in action and incorporating, it does take practice, but it also takes a knowing of self so high and so tapped in and so aware of how amazing and incredible you are and powerful that you are to achieve it. So it's not just practice. There is some metaphysical, spiritual applications to achieving everything that you want. Total self-awareness and accelerate everything just like that. Propel yourself in your thoughts in your sleeping state. And remember, in your sleeping state is when people can astral project, but take yourself to the time where you have achieved what you've set yourself to achieve. And in your waking hours, always see yourself and project yourself to those places and moments of being as if that is who you are already, and continue to strive and show and be amazing you. So the first step is to knock the egoic mind chatter of you and change it to I. That is the first defense in evolution. That is the first awareness and understanding and loving and truly entering into powerful self. Who are you? Are you? Yes, you are. Okay, so I know you all have heard, as above, so below, as within, so without. There is no disconnection. I told you it does not matter what your religious practices are, what your faith is. Those do not, that has nothing to do with illuminated light and energy. Those things they're tools. So there is no judgment. Whatever tools you need to have access to bring you into truth, use it. Because like I said, either they will be truth and will bring you to awakening, or you will have suffering and have enough suffering that you will seek truth. So I won't even touch or even dig in to the meat of the of choices and traditions. Let me just take a look and make sure that I've touched on everything. Yeah, I want to leave a statement or a mantra, and it is, I must purposefully activate my knower so that during my sleep times and my awake times, I am aware of who I am. We are amazing. We are connected to a generator of energy. And for the sake of being super conscious, I hope that majority of us can reach these levels of self that are so high that when we find for me, when I find my vibrational match, honey, the things that are going to be created in that love making energy are going to be so amazing. So, in my singular self, um, I am already very, very in tune. Now, imagine another vibrational match, very in tune. And we will talk about it in the next video. I would like to discuss some practices to open up your chakras and your kundalini. Um, but yeah, trust me, sex is an amazing tool. It is a very intimate, it is very energetic. It can open a whole pathway to manifesting. So it is something to be very, very, very appreciated is the is the word. Um, I have learned in this process of not and me abstaining, which I've done a few times in life, but not on the level of wanting to know, of being a knower, right? Of being in tune. Um, I have gained control over my root, and the root is where the energy begins on up in your chakras. And then when you get to your solar, which is where you hold fear, like you climb these levels to open up and be an open pathway for all of this energy. Peace comes, and the connection and the knowledge is so profound, and it makes me smile. It's like flirting with a lover when you think of existing in that energy, and knowing what your potential is and how to create. So I cannot wait until me and my vibrational match get going, because aside from it being very passionate, I understand that it is a tool as well. So lots of goodies coming up. But next we will talk about some yoga and kundalini. And we will talk about vibration. So while you're activating this powerful source within your body that is really there, just make sure that you understand that when you incorporate vibration into that energy exchange, you're sending like a beacon out, like a signal, like, it's me, I'm here. This is what I want. This is what I have going on. Where you at? What's going on over there? So, yeah, lots of good stuff coming. I hope I didn't sound totally weird, but if I did, it's okay, because I'm totally me. So it's all good. Don't forget to look up. One more thing I wanted to say. Be very aware of the music you listen to and the tones and the vibrations. You'll understand that when you look up Schumann's resonance and the golden ratio, how those tie in together, and Fibonacci. But be very aware of what you feed yourself. So certain artists I used to get down with and vibe with, I have to, I'll listen here and there. So car rides, I go kind of sick with it, and I listen to, because I love driving my car. I got the car of my dreams, so I love it. So I might trap out in the car. It just depends. But just be very aware when you're working to create or to connect with illuminate light and energy, that your surroundings are very balanced as well, because you don't want the wrong message coming through and distracting you or being you while you're really trying to tap in. So for this, I will leave you with meditate, of course. Um, there are these videos that you can access for free on YouTube. It's called Brain Entrainment. So it's not brain entertainment. It's N-E-N and then train, T-R-A-I-N, and then mint, M-E-N-T. You need to research all of the different vibrations. So like frequencies. So like thetas are your deep sleep. You want to listen to thetas. You want a video. You want to start with 15 minutes. And you want a video that will shut off. Don't just listen to them all night. Thetas. Your alphas are more of your wake state, and if you need to study, but check out brain entrainment and the brain waves and how they connect. And that is how I early on began to train myself to actually get into the astral part of sleep and leaving and traveling. So, what else? Leaving and going from one state of consciousness into another vibrational state of consciousness is very, very possible. It is it is a tool that is open and you have access to. But first, I still want to leave you with, in meditation, focus on, is ego speaking, or are you your true self? Are you higher? Are you speaking? Is it you or I? Focus on that. If you feel like fasting or detoxing, whatever you want to do, whatever. I know that I said that I would keep these videos in quick accession. I took a break. I kind of freaked out a little bit. I told you, I get a little shy about really speaking my truths. And it's a low vibe thing that it's my thing. And I didn't want to give, I wanted to get it formatted and I wanted to speak it for my tribe that is meant to hear it, because I don't know who all of that tribe is. I just know that I can't sleep on the download. You know what I mean? As the downloads come, I want to share them. So I will not wait 2 weeks. This next time, it's almost 2 weeks, not quite, but I won't wait as long. I will try to get the next video out within a week. I may surprise you, so maybe sooner. But I just want to wish blessings to you all. I hope that you understand the I of who you are. And I hope that you totally look at yourself, and whatever is low vibe, it needs to go. You're able to remove it in these meditations and really look and face self. And that you totally embrace all the beauty that you are and understand who you are. Understand your potential. And blessings. Until next time.